Hi, what is going on, team? I checked my AirPods in. Hopefully it sound a little bit better than the microphone from the actual kind of iPad itself. But yeah, just want to come in to give my trade recap. Um, yeah, absolutely missed the move here, but I'll kind of explain why I wasn't really looking for longs coming into market opening. Even though longs was more favorable, I would say. But again, I took the risk going short. I protected my risks, and yeah, ended up with a trade idea that we ended up taking. Unfortunately, we ended up getting out at break even. Yeah, nothing much I can do here. Again, um, I stuck to the plan. And for what I saw and what the candles were printing, I knew that we weren't probably going to deliver, especially from this POI here, that we were going to deliver down to these lows again. And I'll show you guys on a 1 minute what made me kind of want to get out. Um, so yeah, so coming into market opening, as you can see, we have that little split from um, I don't know what that says. It should be 30, but as you can see, we have that little gap between Asia session and London session opening. So that's kind of like our pre-market there. And I see that on the high time frame, um, we took out these previous highs as well as these previous highs up here. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like shorts could work. Shorts could definitely work to take out some internal liquidity or even these low resistance lows down here, these hourly time frames. 4 hour, not really much going on the 4 hour besides this gap here, but ideally 1 hour POIs work with the 5 minute better because the reactions are more quicker. The 4 hour takes a long time for buys to be set and structure to be formed on the 5 minute, so it'll take a solid minute to get there. But um, I was looking for shorts, right? So um, just getting into where I was kind of just marking out my structure. So again, we had that pre-market sweep of these internal highs, and we deliver, right? We deliver nicely, right? Breaking structure, but also filling in this 1 hour Fair Valley gap here. But I didn't think it would be enough to kind of push this move up. Even though, again, um, if we were to go long, we would be going long from here, but for what the structure I was seeing on the 5 minute, I just didn't think that that would be the case, that we would come down just a little bit more to fill in um, more of these gaps down here or tap into this order block here or even take out these low resistance 5 minute lows down here. And like, but again, what's interesting is that from this range, so from this low to this high, we actually filled an equilibrium to which that kind of move happened. So, um, but I did like, shorts were there. I'm not gonna deny just because our order flow was definitely bearish after taking out these internal highs up here. Again, if we delivered from these highs and we kept continuing, I would have called a continuation from, I'll show you guys. It would be like something like this, and then continuation to take out these low resistance highs up here. But again, after pre-market, we swept out those internal highs, which I've marked here, and we get a nice market structure shift. And um, oh, sorry, we get a nice breaker structure. So this is a continuation. So yeah, So remember that I am accounting for the 1 hour um imbalance there, but again, I was more drawn for sales once I saw that we swept internal and we, went down with displacement. It just showed me that sellers are, sorry about that, sellers are in control, um, to maybe push price further down. Um, so with that in mind, kind of my buy is kind of set for for why I took this trade. What about execution, right? So again, with this big drop down, we pull out the fib, right? We pull out the fib and we want to see price hit equilibrium because it's more of a chance for price to, oh, in a premium to go short. You sell high, buy low sort of thing. That's why we use the fib tool, especially it kind of gives you a layout of where sellers and buyers are most likely to step in within your kind of dealing range that you're dealing in. Um, so on the 5 minute, our current also was bearish. I did think that, hey, we would come out to at least, fill in this area a little bit more, but, or even just take out these lows before fueling the move back up again, because people will be trying to go short here after we take out these lows, but it'll be enough fuel to kind of, um, it will be enough liquidity taken to kind of fuel the move up. So, yeah, so the fib tool was drawn out. We have multiple POIs, especially on the 5 minute. We had this 5 minute inverse, as well as this 5 minute inverse, this 5 minute Fair Valley gap here, as well as this 5 minute Fair Valley gap here as well. Um, so yeah, once we got that structure break, I waited for a retracement into equilibrium, back up into this Fair Valley gap, which was up here. And then I was kind of like, okay, cool. Order flow is bearish. We tapped into equilibrium. This would be a good chance to go short, right? So on the 1 minute, I was just kind of waiting for some displacement, right? So once we tap into equilibrium and we get some pushes down, what do I see, right? My entry requirements or my entry model is that within a kind of structure, we want to inverse these gaps, right? Because it shows that the structure isn't holding anymore. This kind of 1 minute dealing range isn't holding anymore. And it'll be a good chance to go short to, take out lows. So, um, yeah, once I see that we made some gaps here, we respect them. Um, we also had a 5 minute gap here, but again, it wasn't an equilibrium, so I can kind of just disregard that for now. Um, yeah, we tapped in equilibrium, and this is kind of our range from these lows to these highs, because this is kind of like our structure that tapped into that POI. So I want to see that these POIs are failing. So right, we had a 1 minute Fair Valley gap here, as well as this 1 minute Fair Valley gap here, right? And my entry was on this candle right here, this candle close, right? Because we see that we try to get some pushes up, but we get a huge, sorry, I'm yawning, super, super tired, but as you can see that we get some huge, we get that huge displacement candle down. I'm like, okay, cool. This is the sign right here, right? Because every time we see like a candle like this, like it's high probable that we end up taking out lows once again. Um, Again, my take profit was just at these 5 minute lows, just because we were in a 1 hour Fair Valley gap, and I knew that if we were to take out these lows, it would be a reversing point for price, just because we're already in a bullish kind of structure. So I wasn't kind of going for anything more than that. Just because, again, I thought that, hey, if we were to go long, I want to see um, these early buyers that bought here to kind of get taken out to kind of fuel the move, right? Because because if there's two things the market works on, it's imbalances and liquidity, and that's what my kind of strategy is based on, paired with kind of market structure and order flow. So, um, so yeah, 5 minute order flow was bearish again, and our dealing range from the 1 minute was this fair value gap here as well as this one here. So as you can see that we disrespect them with bearish intent, get a nice closure below, um, and my entry was there. So I see that we start making some lows, or we break structure, and I see price kind of just struggling here, right? To kind of continue on to take out these 5 minute lows. So what it did do was take out these 1 minute lows, and it kind of fueled the move to kind of push back up again. But I don't think it was that. I just think that um, it was just a reversing point, and for price, especially within that huge kind of bullish range, which is over here. So I do think that it was some form of reversal point, and I guess I kind of so if you bought here, you definitely would have bottom ticked, right? So it's just crazy to see that like this is oh, I kind of explain it more, then I'll explain my trade, and then I'll go on to what I was talking about before. But anyways, we get that displacement candle, that bearish candle there. I enter, stops were above these highs, which are up here, as well as my take profit at these 5 minute lows, because I mentioned before that if price was to reverse, I would want to see these lows get taken out before. Um, I want to see these lows get taken out before we kind of push back up again, because we are in a bullish rally gap. But again, current order flow was bearish, so that's why I took the sell. Yeah, I see that. We get some nice pushes down after we get that displacement candle after I entered. Um, and again, it wasn't very flush, right? Like we were kind of very balanced price action, and I see that we break structure back to the upside again, and that's when I went break even. Because it's especially when we get a huge push up like that on the upside, it's better just to get out of break even. Especially when we weren't able to go flush at these 5 minute lows, because that means that support is now holding from kind of support is kind of holding here, and which is where price bounced off to kind of take on the 1 hour trend there. But it's always kind of not really a guess, but it's like it's hard to know where price is going to reverse from, right? I mean, sometimes we have those 1 hour fair value gaps drawn up, but again, with sometimes kind of order flow is what like once you're in order flow, like, and you tap a 1 hour POI, it's hard to go against that, right? Because you want to see structure flip. But unfortunately, like structure did flip on us, into which I didn't take another trade, but I was kind of drawing up where I would take a trade from. And this was a perfect entry right here, right? And it just sucks to see this is that like, hey, this is the move I was like looking for, but we didn't get it. But we got it after I took my trade. And it's just like, oh, and like look at this move here. We had all these stacked liquidity right here, and it just would have been like, oh man, it's just gutting. It's just gutting to see that. But again, with if I put a line here, this is the structure that we were dealing with before, and this happened after. So again, it's just one of those things where I can't really do much, but I got out of break even and protected my kind of protected my sorry, protected my risk, sorry, to if I feel like the trade isn't working out, because ideally, we should be, getting flushed to these 5 minute lows. But I don't think the trade was bad. I just think that I entered at the wrong time. Oh no, I entered. and the market just happened to do its thing at the wrong time when I was taking my trade, which, can't really do nothing much about that. Just got to move on. But yeah, again, I wasn't favoring buys, just because current order flow was bearish, as well as we took out these internal highs in pre-market and London Open, and we just, had this huge rip to the downside. So I wanted to see, some form of low get taken out. But, it is what it is. Move on. I'm happy that I got out break even. Yeah, pretty gutted to see that afterwards, because that was the move I was ideally looking for. As you can see that we tapped this 5 minute fair value gap. We earned versus 1 minute. And with current order flow being bullish, if we were truly bullish, we would inverse, um, this unmitigated 5 minute fair value gap here, as well as this one up here. And yeah, as you can see, we get that nice tap back into it. When structure flip bullish, we get that nice tap back into it, and we break through strongly on this 1 minute inverse. So the stops would have been down here, and just targeting, these highs up here, which got absolutely ripped through. So, yeah, it just sucks that, the trade that I wanted, um, came after the trade I took. But again, it's just, I'm just taking trades on what I see and what price is giving me at the time, which at the time, price current order flow is bearish, and price gave me, this entry, which is up here. And I was favoring sales. But again, all you can do is protect your risk when you get a trade. So that's exactly what I did. So kind of hate on it. You can't have ego in the markets, because if you lose, it will kind of rip your pie. And I've learned that the hard way. So I'm kind of just embracing all my break evens and my losses and, my wins as well, but not trying to be too overconfident. But again, I was going to remind myself that, hey, coming into the day, you have a bias set. Why? And, if price doesn't go in your way, that's all right. So, yeah. Um, the last thing I want to say is, all glory to God. Would not be in the journey if it was not for him. He's keeping me going, as well as my missus. Shout out to her. She's always watching my videos and supporting me big time. So I just want to thank her so much for, um, continuing to, um, show support and show love for, you know, for this trading shit. And like, I know my time will come. 2 years in, I know my time will come. Like, I just gotta keep it moving, keep it pushing, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, all glory to God, and hope you guys have a good trading day, or night if you guys are in the nighttime. But yeah, just wanted to thank you guys for watching so much, and take care. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.